Have you ever wondered why your life feels heavier than others? You do the right things, you pray. You try to live with integrity, and yet your path feels steeper, your battles harsher, your pain deeper. Let me tell you something, it's not your imagination. Those who are chosen by God often carry storms that the world cannot understand. It can feel as though a target has been painted on your back. But if you recognize this, perhaps you are one of them, set apart, marked for a higher purpose, crafted for something beyond the ordinary. And here's the paradox. Being chosen does not mean an easier life. In fact, it often means walking through valleys that test the core of your being. Trials that feel like punishment are, in truth, proof of your calling. These struggles don't just break you, they remake you. They strip away illusions and force you to rely not on the applause of people, but on the steady approval of God alone. Maybe you've cried alone at night, wondering why suffering clings so tightly to you. Maybe friends have drifted away without reason. Maybe you feel like you carry a burden invisible to everyone else. If so, hear this. You are not cursed, you are not forgotten, and you are not alone. Across centuries, the chosen have walked the same narrow road, and every tear, every rejection, every loss was never wasted. It was shaping them into something extraordinary. Let's walk through the 5 pains that mark those chosen by God. When you understand them, your journey will begin to make sense. 1. The pain of rejection. Rejection comes without warning. One day people are by your side, the next they are gone. You search yourself for mistakes, but often you'll find none. The truth is this: you haven't changed. Your light has, and that light unsettles those who live in shadows. The chosen carry a presence that convicts without a word. Just by existing, you challenge what others would rather ignore. So instead of facing themselves, they push you away. Even Jesus was not spared rejection. His own family doubted him. His neighbors scoffed. Isn't this the carpenter's son? If the Son of God endured rejection, do not be surprised when you experience it too. But rejection has a purpose. It detaches you from human applause and attaches you to God's approval. It is also God's way of protecting you. Some people cannot journey with you into your destiny. Their presence would only weigh you down. So when God removes them, understand it's not cruelty, it's mercy. Chase after those who left. Bless them, release them, and trust that God is making space for those meant to walk with you. 2. The pain of loneliness. There is a loneliness that no crowd can cure. You can be surrounded by friends, family, laughter, and noise and still feel an emptiness gnawing inside. The chosen know this loneliness deeply because it is not caused by the absence of people, but by the difference of spirit. You carry visions that others cannot see. You hear whispers of eternity while the world talks about the weekend. You think in terms of destiny while those around you only think in terms of comfort. And so even when you try to share what's burning inside, you are met with blank stares, polite nods, or even criticism. This creates a silent ache because you realize that the very things that define you are the same things that separate you. You love people, but you cannot walk in their direction. They pursue success, but you are chasing significance. They want to fit in, but you are called to stand apart. This loneliness is not an accident. It is purposeful. God often isolates the chosen so he can whisper to them without distraction. Think about it. Moses was called in the desert, away from Egypt's noise. Elijah heard God not in the earthquake or the fire, but in the still small voice alone in the cave. Even Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray. It is in solitude that God downloads the vision others cannot understand. It is in loneliness that your roots grow deeper. While the world sees absence, God sees preparation. And yes, it hurts. You may wonder why the people closest to you cannot carry the burden you carry. You may cry when your deepest prayers go unheard by those around you. You may long for someone to simply get it. But hear this, your loneliness is not a punishment, it is an incubator. Just like a seed must be buried alone in darkness before it breaks forth into life. You too are being hidden for a season. And here's the promise, you will not always walk alone. In time, God will bring people into your life who get you, who share your passions, and who light your fire. Until then, the loneliness you feel is shaping you, sharpening you, and setting you apart for what is to come. So, do not despise it. The silence that wounds you today will become the soil where your destiny grows. 3. The pain of inner conflict. Every chosen one faces a battle inside, spirit versus flesh. You want to pray but feel drained. Open the Word but struggle to focus. You vow to change, yet temptation waits at every corner. And then comes the guilt whispering, if I truly loved God, why would I feel this way? But even Paul, the great apostle, confessed, I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. The truth is, chosen ones feel temptation more fiercely because the enemy knows your potential. If you are called to speak, he'll attack your tongue. If you're called to lead, he'll tempt you with pride. If you're called to worship, he'll try to twist it into vanity. The absence of inner struggle is not always a sign of strength. It can mean surrender. Your conflict is not failure. It's proof that God's Spirit is alive within you. Every fall is a chance to rise again, lean on grace, and walk with deeper humility. 4. The pain of renunciation. The chosen are called to let go again and again. Sometimes it begins small, a habit, a song, a place that no longer sits right with your spirit. But over time, the sacrifices grow heavier. Friendships that once defined you now hold you back. Career paths that looked promising suddenly clash with your calling. Even blessings others celebrate may not belong to you. Abraham left his land. Moses gave up the palace. Paul laid aside his achievements. Each renunciation felt like loss, but it was actually preparation. In God's world, taking away can actually mean adding more. Isn't that wild? Every time you let go, you make room for something greater. Your tears of surrender are seeds of future joy. 5. The pain of waiting, perhaps the hardest pain of all, waiting. The world races ahead while you feel stuck in slow motion. You pray, but heaven seems silent. You knock and doors refuse to open. Joseph knew this pain sitting in a prison while his dreams gathered dust. David knew it, anointed as king yet hiding in caves for years. Their delays were not punishment, they were preparation. Waiting refines his character so you can handle the weight of the promise when it finally... Every unanswered prayer is stretching your trust. Every closed door is testing your obedience. And though it feels cruel, God's timing is never late, the meaning behind the pain. When you weave these pains together, rejection, loneliness, inner conflict, renunciation, and waiting, you begin to see the pattern. These are not signs that God has abandoned you. They are marks of His calling. Rejection shifts your trust to Him. Loneliness sharpens your ear for His voice. Inner conflict keeps you humble and dependent. Renunciation frees your hands for greater gifts. Waiting boosts your faith and patience. Your journey may not be easy, but it is sacred. While others chase comfort, you are being prepared for purpose. While many skim the surface, you are being called to the depths. One day, all those tears will finally make sense. You will see that the nights you spent weeping were seeds of harvest, that every no was a greater yes. And when the promise finally arrives, you will say with unshakable certainty, it was worth it. Every tear, every rejection, every lonely night, it was all worth it. So if you feel different, if you feel misunderstood, if you feel the weight of invisible battles, remember this: you are chosen, and the chosen do not walk easy paths. They walk with purpose and meaning. Do not give up. The best is yet to come. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can walk this journey together.